Mariyeha. Shri Krishna Maharaj Ni Jai, Shri Ghansyam Maharaj Ni Jai. Supreme Entity, Bhagwan Swaminarayan, the pathway, the one who makes our pathway to liberation, Pujya Guruji, Pujya Santo, and all you devotees who are watching. My humble Jai Swaminarayan. Today our topic is not only for the person who is involved in the spiritual life, but it can be also used for the person who is not spiritual as well. Our topic for today is the force of faith. Faith is to believe in what cannot be seen, and the fruit of one's faith is to see what one believes. If we take a look, not everything in life is reasoned with logic or rationalism. Some things we have to just put on faith. If we have faith in some things, then we become successful. We see this in our day-to-day life. Now I just want you to think a little bit. I want to give you an example. It happens in our daily life. We don't even know it, and it happens. My example is, for the price of a ticket, we put our life in the hands of bus drivers, train conductors, taxi drivers, and even airplane pilots who take us 33,000 feet in the air, and they take us at such heights, and yet we do not have a single thought that nothing will happen to us. No mishaps to the plane, or the airplane pilot might have some kind of physical problems. We don't have any thoughts in our minds. We have total faith in that person that he'll take us from point A to point B. We have total faith. No matter what it is, in the world of medicine, surgeons who perform open heart surgery or brain surgery or any kind of surgery, or even the general medical doctor who prescribes us medicine, we don't even know the contents to what the medicine does to us. We just have faith in him that since he has a label that he's a medical doctor, that by taking this prescription, I will become healthy again. We have that kind of faith. But we don't have faith in something that's beyond this physical realm. We don't believe in something that's beyond this physical realm. And that's why today I chose the topic, the force of faith, to make you understand that there's something beyond this world to put faith into. Not just bus drivers or taxi drivers or train conductors or even airplane pilots or surgeons or doctors. Those people are just restrained to this world. But I want to tell you something, I want to show you something that is beyond this world, that by putting faith in it, one becomes blissful and one becomes liberated. Now, first and foremost, to do that, we need to understand there's two types of faith I want to talk about today that are essential for the spiritual growth as well as a person who is not spiritual. One is faith in oneself, and the second is faith in God. Now, the one way to look at faith in oneself is called self-confidence. Self-confidence is just a boost for you that I am able to do this. You have such kind of belief in your heart That's self-confidence. Now, in the sports world, if we look, the underdog football team beats the favorites by a long shot. What does this due to? Because they have self-confidence. Self-confidence is also necessary for athletes. And without it, one cannot overcome the other opponent. For boxing, we can say, boxers who have self-confidence, self-belief in oneself, beats the opponent who is less confident. Now in boxing, there's something interesting that goes on. Before the match occurs, there's something called the Pre-Fight Buildup. And what this is an interview between both the boxers. They come face to face. There's a mic in the middle, and on one side is the boxer and his team, and on the other side, there's the other boxer and his team, meaning his manager, his trainer, all those people. And what they do is they talk amongst each other. And the self-confident boxer who out-talks his opponent intimidates him in his mind. And through this intimidation, half the battle is won before the match even starts. This is something interesting. It's all mental. It's a mental perspective if we look at it. Half the battle is won before the match even starts because that boxer has put some words in his opponent that are devastating, that are beyond his physical body, and that are beyond anyone's imagination. Due to this, that self-confident boxer wins. Now this is one kind of faith, self-confidence. But if we look at it in the spiritual perspective, I want to talk about something Shashtriji Maharaj has said in the Vachanamrut, in the Shikshapatri, and many scriptures. And such kind of faith in oneself is called Atma-realization, or simply believing oneself to be the soul and disbelieving oneself to be the body. Meaning, this body is temporary, we see. It only is going to last for a certain time. But our soul is forever. Such kind of firm belief, such kind of firm faith in oneself is called Atma-realization. And through this, one can overcome great obstacles and hurdles, such as misery, insults, honor, hunger, thirst, heat, cold, all these kind of physical and mental perspectives that are hurting us, we can overcome by having Atma-realization. But I want to explain to you that it doesn't only end with having faith in oneself. And I have proof of that because in Vachanamrut, Shashtriji Maharaj says in Gadada 1st chapter 64th Vachanamrut, Shashtriji Maharaj gives a beautiful example, and he says that when faced with the task of crossing a river, one who knows how to swim can cross it, whereas one who is unable to swim will be left standing. However, when faced with the task of crossing an ocean, both require the aid of a ship. Similarly, a river in the form of dualities of cold and heat, hunger and thirst, honor and insult, happiness and misery, may be crossed by a person who has Atma-realization. Death, however, is like an ocean. In that case, both a person with Atma-realization and a person without it require the help of a ship in the form of faith in God. Meaning, it just doesn't end by having faith in oneself. In the world we look, many people have faith in their self. that they're able to accomplish and become medical doctors. They have faith that when I become older, I'll become a medical doctor. They have such kind of self-confidence, and due to this self-confidence, they become successful. Others have some self-confidence that I'll become a CEO, or any kind of title we see, or any kind of obstacle. But a person who has self-confidence is able to overcome it. But here, Shashtriji Maharaj says it doesn't end here. Not only with self-confidence in oneself, but one needs another step, which is having faith in God. This is our main topic that I want to talk to you about today. Faith is such a force, but direction is also needed in order to reach the destination that one wants to go to. Meaning not everything is accomplished by faith in oneself, but one needs faith in God. However, when it comes to putting faith in God, one deviates and falls from the path. The reason for this is one does not put faith in God because he does not believe, or he does not understand, or he does not see. These are the three factors. Now I want to tell you that more than having faith in oneself, having faith in God is 1,000 times greater and essential for liberation of the soul, who is bounded by this Maya, or illusion we so see, all the materialism in the world, all the things that are bounding us and taking us away from God. All this can be destroyed by having faith in God, firm faith in God. Faith in a spiritual context is a strong, unshakable belief in God. It is absolute trust in God, His form, actions, and words. And I want to give you a great story that will show you that what is faith like. Now, before, when Shashtriji Maharaj was around 200 years ago, he brought with him many, many liberated souls. And through them, he accomplished many tasks. He brought and made saints here. He brought and made devotees here. And out of those devotees, I want to talk to you about such a story of a devotee. His name was Dadakachar, but he was not an ordinary devotee. He had a highly spiritual state, but more than that, his faith was beyond limits. What he did was beyond anyone's imagination, and how he lived was unthinkable compared to the regular human life. Now, for some background, Dadakachar was the king of Gadara, or a village. Back in that time, that was a great status. Obviously, to be a king is a great status. But in that time, in the time of Shashtriji Maharaj, to be a king of a village was a great status. Obviously, he had all the luxuries, he had all the wealth, everything. But what kind of faith he showed towards Shashtriji Maharaj was such that was uncomparable to any devotee or any kind of other being. So, one time, Dadakachar requested to Maharaj, "May you always be pleased upon me." He kept saying this to him. They were sitting in his courtyard, Shashtriji Maharaj, his saints, and Dadakachar, and a couple of Maharaj's devotees. And Dadakachar kept saying, "Maharaj, may you be pleased upon me. May you be pleased upon me." He just kept saying this and saying this. So one day Shashtriji Maharaj decided to test his faith. And he said, "Dadakachar, you keep telling me that may be pleased upon me. Now, I want to tell you something. And after that, Maharaj ordered Dadakachar to leave his estate, leave his whole courtyard, leave his village, his kingdom, without taking any kind of food, grain, money, anything, no extra clothing, and leaving without any question, without any thought. Shree Maharaj played such a drama, and through this, Dadakachar, he also had a wife, Jasuba. He called her and told her that this is Maharaj's wish. So what shall we do? And Jasuba said, obviously, me and you both want to please Bhagwan. So we should do whatever pleases him. So let's leave. So Dadakachar, along with his wife Jasuba and his small child, left their kingdom. But while they were leaving, Jasuba, she knew that her 2-year-old boy was hungry. So she decided to go in the kitchen and to get some food for him. And while she was doing that, Shree Maharaj entered the kitchen and he asked, "What are you doing here? Why are you here?" Jasuba explained that I'm here to get some food for my son Maharaj because he is very hungry. Shree Maharaj said that I've told you to get out of here. I don't want you here at all. Do not take anything, so leave. Jasuba, without any question, left with Dadakachar, and they went outside of their estate and were leaving away from their whole kingdom. All the people of the kingdom were in awe that Dadakachar, the king of our village, is leaving because of the command of Shree Maharaj, without any food, without any money, without any grains, nothing. And yet, his face is the same as before, meaning he has no effect of what Bhagwan has done to him or has said to him. And Dadakachar was going, and while they reached the outskirts of the village, Shree Maharaj told 2 devotees to bring them back. So the 2 devotees ran as fast as they could, and they brought back Dadakachar and his whole family. And Shree Maharaj ran and embraced Dadakachar because of his faith in him. Now, during that time, Shree Maharaj also had a human body, just like everyone else here. He also wore clothes. He also ate and drank the same as everyone else. Yet, the faith he had, Dadakachar had, that this is the Supreme Almighty Lord, the Lord of Lords, the Creator, Destroyer, and Sustainer of everything. Such faith he kept in the time of adverse circumstances showed his level of devotion and showed his level of spiritual strength. Now, through this story, we can learn that such kind of faith, by having such kind of faith, one can really please Bhagwan. Now, in this time right now, there's no one that will tell us to go out and get out of our home or leave everything behind. There's no kind of examples or dramas like that. But we should at least have more faith than those bus drivers or pilots or surgeons in God. That's my point to you. I'm reminded of a quote by Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhiji once said, "Faith is something to grasp. Faith is not something to grasp. It is a state to grow into." Meaning, it's not something physical that you can take and put into yourself. No, it's a mental status. It's something to grow into. Like your environment, you grow into it in the same way. Faith is developed slowly. But have faith in God, there's certain requirements that need to be fulfilled. Now, the first requirement is to obviously believe in the existence of God. Now, in the age of logic and reasoning, many people raise doubts. They say that, how could God exist? Where is God? I can't see him. If God created everything, why can't we see him, or why can't we meet him? Such kind of thoughts happen because our mental status has not reached a certain level to see. Now, people believe because God can't be seen, he doesn't exist. On the contrary, we look, electrons and other subatomic particles are not seen, cannot be displayed by the naked human eye. Yet, scientists, theorists, and even students who learn in school believe that there are atoms and there are electrons and other subatomic particles. They believe in this. Even if they cannot be seen by any tools, their effects are shown through the particle accelerator, and through this, humans believe that there are atoms and subatomic particles. In the same way, the creation of this earth, cosmos, the universe, is all the work of God. So even if the cause, God, is not seen, it doesn't disprove his existence. Even if he's not seen, it doesn't mean that he's not there. He is there, but we just need the right equipment to see him. Meaning we just need the right spiritual equipment to witness and to experience his bliss. And that tool or that equipment is called faith. Again, faith is to believe in what cannot be seen, and the fruit of one's faith is to see what one believes. Now, even if we talked about this ages of doubts and reasoning and logical thinking, even great scientists, theorists like Albert Einstein and Thomas Edison believed in a higher power. The famous theorist Sir Isaac Newton has stated in his work that the most beautiful system of the sun, planets, and comets could only proceed from the counsel and dominion of an intelligent and powerful being. Meaning, he was such a great theorist, yet this existence of this we call Earth and cosmos and universe, all these things, he even thought were creations of a powerful being, meaning something beyond this realm. However, many find this faith to develop is very difficult. We're able to put trust in innumerable people who we have neither seen or met. Peoples whose credibility, background, and psychological fitness is unknown to us, like the surgeon or the bus driver or the taxi driver, yet we're unable to put faith in the one who has created everything, the one who is supreme to all, the one who has given us this physical body, the one who has given us the mental body, the one who has given us everything. We're able to put faith in God. Now my question is to you, are you able to put faith in others? Then will you be able to put faith in God? Bolo Shri Hari Krishna Maharaj Ni Jai, Sripatim Sridharam Sarvadeveshwaram Bhaktidharmatmanam Vasudevam Harim Madhavam Kes